Hello and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another cast, and let me get a quick drink of Gatorade before I start here. Excuse me for that one. Just got off casting another game and realized I need to stay hydrated. But this is going to be EG versus IG in the DAC 2017 group stages, and this is an important game for both these teams. As right now, let's look at the standings here. IG is at the top with 2 wins, 2 draws, and 0 losses. They have 8 points because I think wins are 3 points, draws are 1. I think that's how that works. Okay, let's do the math. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 plus 1 is 8, and that math is indeed correct there. That's NA math right there, guys. And NP are at the second slot, and this is when my theory will be confirmed or not. They have 1 win and 3 draws. Let's count that. 1 win, that's 3 points. 3 draws, that's 3 points. That's 6 points, and indeed they do have 6 points, so I am right about that. Nice. Anyway, EG is sitting 3rd in their group right now, and keep in mind, only the top 2 teams go to the upper bracket, while the rest of the teams are going to be sent to the lower brackets. That's the top 2 teams in each group. There's Group A and Group B. The rest of the 4 bottom teams are going to be sent to the lower bracket, where they're going to have to play a best of 1 single elimination. Loser gets knocked out of the tournament, and I don't think either team wants, or any team wants that. So the thing is IG is at the top. If they lose this game, it's going to be their first loss in the group, and it's going to boost EG up into top 2, I think. Not knocking IG down. Let's do the math. Yeah, it's going to tie them with IG because you don't get any points for a loss, of course. So if EG win this game, they're going to have 8 points, tying themselves with IG and knocking NP down to the 3rd position. And the other games that are going to be played today is IGV versus Liquid. And Liquid, actually, surprisingly enough, for their strong showing at Star Ladder, winning that event, they're at the bottom of Group B with 3 draws and 1 loss. And who is their 1 loss to, actually? They drew against NP. They drew against Newbie. They drew against EG. Oh, they just straight up lost to IG. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was on the first day, I believe. Or was it day 2? Wait, it was the first day. Yeah, Burning, B-God. They're back. IG at DAC, man. At the last DAC, we saw Big God have a very good showing, and that was with Zhao Wei and them. And now we got Burning back on IG, and he's looking good. And if they beat EG here, pretty much IG has cemented a spot in the upper bracket. And after that, I mean, they have a pretty easy road to the grand finals as long as they win that first upper bracket round. They need to win that. They go into the semifinals, they win another one, and suddenly they're in the grand finals. That's 2 games away from the grand finals. That's guaranteeing yourself 2nd place at least. I mean, if you want to look at it like that. But if they lose, I mean, not if they lose. Even if they lose, they're probably still going to be in the upper bracket. But this is more of an important game for EG here. Yeah, it pretty much is EG's last chance to get this upper bracket finish. And NP still, it's not even guaranteed, because if NP win 2-0 against Newbie, I think they're going to have to play a tiebreaker, because then IG and EG will be tied, and then NP actually is going to be 1 point ahead if they 2-0 Newbie. So enough about that. Let's talk about the draft, guys. There's a lot of things going on right now, and Liquid, I think, is just out. There's no way. I mean, actually, there is a way. If they 2-0 their game, they're going to end up with 6 points. And if this draws, and we'll actually see what happens. There's too many theoreticals at this point in time, but just keep in mind these matches are actually important, and the results matter a lot. Whether this is a draw, whether this is a straight-up win for either team, it's gonna determine their fate pretty much. And we're gonna get right into this draft, guys, as we see IG with a first phase Monkey King pick as well as the Lina, and they have the two sisters as well, Lina and CM here, while EG going for the NA Classic draft, Abaddon, Keeper of the Light. They got the Earth Spirit as well for, I think Zai plays it now. The Magnus is banned as well as the Centaur, so taking out some offlaners for IG, while IG gonna take out the Alchemist first phase. Pretty surprising ban there, as I think Alchemist's success rate is not that high, but EG has been one of the teams that are making it work, and it's also just very annoying to deal with. And the Lifestealer are also going to be banned out here for IG, is also what EG have been winning with Arteezy playing that Lifestealer, and I'm just playing around him, and they would have really liked it this game, as I think they had a very similar draft to this one, but with the Lifestealer, of course, for Arteezy. But instead, they're going to get Sumail's Invoker here, and IG continuing to ban out Naga. Just not want to play with these annoying heroes. I mean, I would say maybe not the TA, but even TA to some extent. These are just heroes that are relatively annoying to deal with, and EG's specialties as well. Of course, Sumail plays TA very well, and it's kind of a hero that you just can't ignore. It always puts some type of pressure on you because she farms through the jungle, farms the ancients very quickly. You also always got to be watching Roshan. Of course, Naga Siren is annoying for different reasons, but we all know what Naga does here. And I wonder what IG are going to finish off with here. Probably not going to pick Burning's hero quite yet. I think they tend to save that for last, and yep, they're gonna go with the Nyx Assassin for... Who's their offlaner player? I know Q is a support, so is OP, I think, or is he their mid? OP is their mid, I think. XXS is their support. I would like to say it's Baboka is their offlaner. I actually haven't
5 seconds.
Kept up with IG so much in terms of their players. I've watched a couple of their games here and there, but I didn't actually hone in onto them, and I maybe should, because they're at the top of the group right now, and they've done well. If you look at the results they've had so far, they 2-0'd Liquid. I think they went even with a lot of the Chinese teams, and that makes sense, but they went even with NP as well here. Who's the other team they won against? Can't find it. Oh, the 2-0 Newbie. Oh, that's pretty good. We're going to see how they do against EG now. This is the last game they're going to play. I believe it is. Yeah. So this is the last game both of these teams are going to play, and this is the last chance to determine their fate. If IG wins this game 2-0, or maybe even 1-1, I'm not going to say that for sure, but they have pretty much a guaranteed chance of getting an upper bracket finish in these group stages. And the last ban coming out from EG will be a anti-mage. Of course, the legendary Burning and his anti-mage, they're going to have to show some respect to that, and it's definitely a very good last pick at this point. I think he owns all of these heroes. I don't say beats them, but anti-mage is pretty good against
10 seconds to go.
What EG have so far right now. They don't have the best answers to him either.
5 seconds.
Troll Warlord going to get banned out by IG now, and they're going to pick up a Spectre for B-God.
Dyer's pick.
I just watched NP Spectre game, and that did not go so well for them at all, but I feel like IG have a lot better well-rounded draft for a Spectre. These are a lot of early game heroes that can scale as well if needed, and IG's late game looks relatively formidable. EG not too bad either when it comes to late game, because they do have the Invoker, and they're going to save Arteezy's hero for last here, and where they're going to go with their
10 seconds to go.
Lifestealer is banned. I feel like they want some type of split pusher here. Well, that's kind of a split pusher, as they pick Clinks. It's a hero that IG has run themselves a lot, and I feel like they're familiar with Klink's playstyle. I'm surprised that EG is gonna kind of like take their strat here. I would say it's a strat, but at least use their hero, because this hero is not very commonly utilized now. I've seen NP tinker with here or there, but I wouldn't say he's a bad hero, but it requires a certain type of playstyle where you're playing very aggressive, because the thing about Klinks is he can rotate from the safe lane a lot earlier than a lot of safe laners and do a lot of work if he catches you off guard. Like suddenly one moment he's missing from the safe lane and he's TP'd somewhere, moved very quickly with his windwalk and is killing your Crystal Maiden in 3 hits, and you're like, oh shit, there's Klinks. And then after that you're in a mad rush to buy sentries, and at that point you really can't afford to split because Klinks is just picking you off everywhere. But enough about the Klinks, we're gonna head straight into the game, as it's gonna be IG versus EG in the DAC 2017 group stages, and this game is gonna determine if EG will make it into the top 2 of the groups, and whether they'll make it to the upper bracket or be sent to the lower bracket best of ones. Let's see both teams smoke out, or not. EG actually not smoking out, or EG the one smoking out. I mean IG not smoking out here. They're Shaker and the Klinks not TPing. The only TP they use is Zai here to get a deep ward, potentially a courier sniping ward. Oh, and Baboka gonna smoke himself right under the ward. Where is he going? Where's my monkey? Alright, he's doing it just to get a mid ward off for this Lina. Undetected. You're gonna Sunstrike. Where do you Sunstrike? I actually see where that Sunstrike was, but I heard it. And will this mid ward be undetected? They did see him smoke, but they didn't see where he went. But
30 seconds to
I feel like they should know that he's up to something. The monkey business. And Universe will be in the offlane here on the Abaddon. We got Sumail playing the Invoker. Crit will be playing the Earth Spirit. I got that wrong. I thought Zai was the Earth Spirit player. No, this Crit. Zai is going to be on the Kato instead. We're going to see XXS get a stun here onto Arteezy on the Klinks. So indeed, XXS will be the offlaner. Yeah, he's the offlaner for IG. I thought it was Maboka, but Maboka is the support. OP will be the mid. Oh what? That looks funny. Monkey King as a courier is blocking the mid, but Monkey King went for... or whatever, Baboka's the 4 role. They might be interchangeable, because I could have sworn I saw Baboka play offlane for IG. But anyway, Key will be the support 5 position. I guess you consider both of them offlaners. He's got the 6 position, you know. We got 2 3s and 1 6. Anyway, Burning is going to be playing the hard one on the Spectre, and Crystal Maiden blocking the range creep for him to make sure that he doesn't lose lane. You know, Boca just manning up against Universe. And this is one way to play Monkey King. Poor man shield starting and just trading with the offlaner. And he has okay move speed at level 1 as well. 305. I think that was nerfed a bit. Or maybe not. Crystal Maiden's move speed was definitely nerfed. 280 move speed. Poor Crystal Maiden. And Universe actually being zoned out of the lane so far. And IG doing a very good job of laning against his Abaddon right now. This is definitely how you need to be playing against him. Because otherwise he's going to run this Spectre over, and then you're going to have to commit both the supports here. Waste a lot of the potential they can get out of them. But so far, I mean, they're going to keep their supports at level 1 for a while because of this, but because they're keeping Universe at level 1 as well, they're going to have to use the Shrine now. And normally, with a Kato as well as a Abaddon, he can kind of cover him so that he can get level 2. But just because how IG have played this lane so far, I feel like they're going to win this pretty hard. Crystal Maiden getting the last hit onto that creep as well. Kato almost snagging it. This offlane is lost for EG actually. We look at the mid lane. How is OP doing against Sumail? He's actually winning significantly. And Lina, people forget it, she's actually a pretty strong laner. And you see Sumail on his Invoker actually losing his lane at this point to the Lina burning with literally almost perfect CS. It's actually almost perfect. Both last hits and denies. So what should he have? 16 at this point? And the Lina actually has perfect CS. Holy cow. Very good late game, or not late game, early game going for IG right now. And keep in mind, I said before that IG actually has a pretty scary late game themselves, but they're no joke either once they get the early farm up and start ganking with the Spectre ultimate and the Lina ultimate as well. Monkey King definitely can just take over a game if he gets off. Speaking of getting off, he's going to jump onto a tree and get straight off onto the Kato, but doesn't actually manage to hit the slow onto him, I think. It's going to be forced back now. Abaddon will be level 2 now, and they're getting something out of this lane, but they're definitely not succeeding at pressuring Burning at all. Going to force him to last under tower, but with this Quelling Blade, it's going to be able to do just fine. This Burning God, of course. As I say that, he misses the CS, and we see Evoca jump onto Universe, try to send in some extra harass his way. Zai actually did get the side pull off, so small victory for them. It's only one creep, he gets the last hit onto it. So that's some value there, as OP's still doing very well against Sumail. He's starting to catch up now as he's got some levels up. And I think this is just due to OP having a high ground ward while Sumail actually doesn't have one. That's going to allow her to hit the Dragon Slaves like that and get some extra harass there onto Sumo, forcing him to play a lot more passive. He has to watch himself now, as he's falling quite low now to this Lina, as Burning actually will dive deep for this first blood onto Universe in his bot lane. He's going to go for more onto Zai. Nice juke onto the high ground. Turns it around, goes with the loop-de-loop, and gets that sick kill there onto Zai, and that's 2 kills for Burning there. Oh, he actually didn't get both those kills. Second kill was finished off by Q. And he's gonna be down to pretty low HP. He has the Arcane Aura to regenerate his mana, so he doesn't care too much about that. I think he's gonna go for a side pull now, as he's a bit too low to lane. So he's gonna give the lane to Monkey King for a bit, but he's also low himself as well, and he's already jumping back, wanting to get to base. Burning is just gonna salve up. Once he does that, he's going to be able to head straight back to lane. I don't think he'll miss too much CS from this either.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's
bottom tower. He's
tower.
That range creep. He's going to pull the lane back using his dagger. Still afraid to walk up there. But now he's going to be back to farming. This is that other range creep as well to the tower. That's unfortunate. OP going to be playing a back a bit here, as he thinks Crit is coming in. He is indeed. I'm not sure if Crit already showed himself, but he's going to get a ward down. And I didn't talk much about Crit in this early game, but he actually hasn't got much done so far. He's up to level 3. Didn't really shut down XXS too much at all in this lane. He's up to level 5. Look at Arteezy. He's actually same exact level as him, so I mean, sure he got some levels for himself, but in terms of slowing down this Nyx or even slowing down this Lina at all, Crit hasn't done much of that at all. Sumail still behind in CS compared to OP, and he has to watch himself now as well, as OP has a haste rune as well as his level 6 up. And any type of rotation coming from the Monkey or the Crystal Maiden can potentially threaten a kill here onto Sumail. Universe not doing very well in this bot lane either, and I say just from this early game, I think IG have this game. Crystal Maiden up to level 4. And the way that IG have played their lane so far is really good. Now Waboka will get the jump onto Sumail. He's going to jump back onto the tree, use that dust, and get a ward down as well. I already was saying that any type of rotation will be an easy kill onto Sumail, and there you see it happen. As in the top lane, XXS actually ends up going down, so finally the first kill here for EG. But it's on the Nyx assassin, who's at this point almost level 6, so that's not going to put him behind at all. If you compare that to Universe in the off lane, he's just level 4 and he's struggling, because Abaddon behind in the lane doesn't do much at all, if anything. Burning is going to run at him. Not going to trade him with the Photic Shield, but Let's wait for that to pop. As Monkey King actually rotating in. Universe has to be careful now. Bernie gonna throw a dagger at him. He's gonna be able to try to run away, but here comes the Monkey King with the stun. So that's gonna be another kill there for Baboka. Burning almost up to level 6 now, and Mix has hit his 6 as well, and they're looking to set up potentially for a haunt kill here. Zai has to watch himself. Burning's gonna have his 6 soon. He has to clear this creep wave a bit faster. I expect them to go directly on to Zai if he peeks his head out too far, but he's gonna back himself away. Pick up a bounty rune. Nyx will be forced out of Invis due to his cooldown. Not cooldown, but duration. So they won't get a kill there onto Zai. Now OP still farming out the mid lane. Very well on the CS. 53 at this point. I think this game is just down to Arteezy's rotations. If he can get successful rotations out, he's already moving. As I say that. He wants to try to get a kill onto someone like a Crystal Maiden to start out, but Spectre ult is going to be used, and they're going to dive onto Zai. They're going to know that Arteezy's in their jungle, and they also have avoided that gank. And I mean, Spectre's potentially at risk there, but I mean, they know something's up with Arteezy, because they saw the Spectre illusion pop up in their jungle, so they're going to be able to play accordingly. And they're already set up to protect their vulnerable heroes, except for Birdie, who's at the top lane. He's just trying to get some creeps, but he got nuked down by the Coddle, so he's probably just going to walk back to base now. But if he's in base, he's not going to die to Clinks. And Arteezy, even though he rotated out, he's not going to find anything at this point in time. Crit's only at level 4. He wants to buy that tome and get his 6 up. Arteezy's still stalking around, going to provide some cover for Universe here, but IG playing this very well. They're going to run into Arteezy. I don't think they actually know he's here, but they see the Earth Spear. This 2-man stun gonna come through, as well as another 2-man stun from the Nyx Assassin. They're gonna pounce down as well as get a 2-man kill themselves onto OP double kill there for Lina. Now Universe looks like he's gonna go down here as well. They hit the stun, his ultimate is already gone, and they get the Crystal Maiden, but they lose 3. And this is a huge loss for EG. I mean, they rotated, but that was just them getting baited in. Saw the juicy Crystal Maiden, but I mean, she was like, come get me, guys. Sumail is just dropping his meteor to finish up his Midas. He's never really recovered from this pretty bad laning stage that he's had against Lina. I tell you, that's just matchup related. It's not even Sumail as a player. Lina is definitely just a lot stronger laner than the Invoker. Now XXS gonna find a solo kill there onto Zai. Nyx Assassin, of course, doing very well against a keeper because he can't just farm freely. At any point, the Nyx Assassin can just assassinate him, according to his namesake. And now Arteezy falling pretty far behind if you look at the net worth, because he's roamed around a lot just to try to find something. And instead he killed a Crystal Maiden and got killed for it, and they're going to gank him now with a nice stun starting from Baboka. They're going to chain in with the Lina stun as well as the Crystal Maiden root, and they're going to get a quick and easy kill there onto Arteezy. And this is when Arteezy is supposed to be scary for IG, but instead IG are the ones hunting, and they found him there.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days.
And that was without a board or anything. That was just them realizing that someone's going to be farming there, most likely, either the Invoker or Arteezy. And they find that kill, and they find the top tower as well. EG are just in damage control right now. Crit's still level 5. They're going to push down this bot tier 1. Should get it here. IG are not in position to defend it quite yet. Lina is incredibly farmed. She's building into a Bloodstone, I would assume. She's going to have it very soon. Monkey doing pretty good for himself as well, about to have phase boost, and this is the roaming Monkey King. Almost equal there in the net worth compared to Universe on his Abaddon, who's found some room to catch up after his bad early game, but got the enemy offlaner having a Midas complete. And as I said before, IG is probably going to look to scale into a late game with the Spectre, of course, but that doesn't stop them from playing aggressively at all with their draft. and Burning will be going for a Radiance. XXS looking for some blood, but RTZ is gonna get himself to safety. OPQ as well as Baboka already smoked up. They're gonna look for RTZ, but he's smoked up, or not, he's invis right now, and the dust's gonna come out. The stun immediately comes out for Baboka. Spectre ultimate gonna be used to keep track of him as well, and they're just gonna nuke him down with the Lunar Blade. This is when Clinks is not very good. When he is not the one putting pressure on that, but instead is the one pressured, he can't really do anything. I mean, he doesn't farm very fast, and he's susceptible to getting ganked like that. If you don't have the map control, if you don't have the lead in the early game, this is what happens to a Clinks. And I think IG knows this. They run the hero themselves, as I said, and they know the hero's weaknesses, and they're completely abusing it. They're not playing split on the map. They're farming pretty close to their towers where rotations can come to help, and instead of like farming or grouping, they're grouping together and looking for the Clinks or looking for a gank, and Clinks can't gank you if you're ganking them. That's the thing. And oh, EG gonna look for a gank now. They're gonna find Baboka, but he just jumps onto G, jumps away. The stun will miss. It will only hit onto the Crystal Maiden, and oh, once again EG ganks to only find Q. Right, they sacrificed the Maiden. Now Zai might just end up going down here. He's getting stalked by XXS, waiting for a good opportunity to get in with the stun, but he sees the Kato gonna start recalling someone. He's gonna back off a bit there, a bit afraid, but now he's gonna initiate onto Zai. He's moving in a predictable pattern with Burning here as well. They're gonna clean up that kill, and Sumail gonna immediately TP away. He's working towards his Aghanims, and I mean, he's caught up in farm fairly well, but he's their most farmed hero on the side of EG, and he's gonna be pretty much their win condition at this point. If Sumail starts dying, I would say EG have a very slim chance of winning this game, as the score is 12-3 at this point, and IG are firmly in the lead. It's a 4,000 gold lead at this point in the game, a 2,000 experience lead. As for Burning, he's gonna work towards his Radiance. He's not gonna be the fastest Radiance in the world, but at this point, they don't really need one. They're willing to just play aggressive every time his ultimate is off cooldown, and just try to hold their map control, and eventually he'll get there. And once again, as soon as the ultimate's off cooldown, they're looking for another gank here. Zai will get himself away with that nice blinding light, so this time their gank won't be successful. Some small victory there for EG. Finally, RTZ has found some space to get something off the map. He's going to be able to farm into his Dragonlance, but he's still actually very far away from it. Very underfarmed for this Clinks right now. We're going to see Universe actually building into a Midas as well as a Radiance of himself, and I've seen this before, and normally it doesn't tend to work out. As an Abaddon trying to scale with a Midas and a Radiance, in theory it's pretty strong because he gets the experience gain if that's what he wants to go for, and then he gets to level 25 very quickly, but I feel like when he gets that Radiance, he's just underwhelming, and then he's just super squishy, and sure, the Radiance is annoying, but he just gets like bursted down really quickly, and it sounds weird of Abaddon getting bursted down, but that's actually just what happens. Like, his initial ultimate pop just gets immediately forced out, and then after that he just gets bursted because he's not built any tanky items, no Vlads, no mech, anything like that. With the Radiance, sure, he has the burn, but at this point IG are gonna be far ahead by the time he gets that Radiance, and I feel like they're gonna matter too much. You see XXS looking for another gank here onto RTZ. Oh no, the stun from the monkey gonna be cancelled. The Sunstrike gonna hit onto him, as well as the silence from the Earth Spirit, but Crystal Maiden is here. Q will finish off the kills. Baboka almost went down there, but he'll survive. And very good kills there for IG. They almost turned that one around with a nice play from Crit, but it was not enough. IG are still so far ahead, and we saw how much damage the Crystal Maiden was able to do there. These are pretty squishy heroes they're dealing with. Earth Spirit at this point only has 900 HP. RTZ has 1000 with Strength Treads as well as a Ogre Club, and this is without eating his creep. And even then, he's still a level 1 death pack. So Doesn't have the most HP gain at this point. It's missing 15%. I guess the death pack isn't really that strong until you get to level 18. But he's actually building straight into a BKB. He realizes the potential of IG's magic damage this game, and without a BKB, he's not even going to be able to join the fight at all. The Ags finally is going to become complete for Sumail. Relatively good timing, but the rest of his team is so far behind. Burning is going to have a secret relic soon, as XXS is looking for some more blood. He has his Blink Dagger now, and he's currently vendetta enough for some kill. They have the Spectre ultimate available as well. It's actually still level 1. Not opting to level it up here. I guess it doesn't provide too much at this point. 1 second duration, not the biggest deal until he gets that Radiance. Arteezy struggling to find farm on the map right now. You look at his farm right now, he's pretty far behind Burning. And considering Burning is not farming that quickly either, his Radiance is coming fairly late. Check Roshan now, and are they gonna try? No. Crit just sitting in the trees right now. I feel like EG are just hunkering it down and hoping that IG mess up somewhere at this point, because it is not looking good for them at all. They really have no options to make any plays at this point in time, and all they gotta hope for is for IG to slip up somewhere for them to find an opening. It's playing against a Chinese team, you can't count on that sometimes, but you can't really depend on it. But as I say that, XXS does get caught out under a sentry, and they baited that one pretty well, not responding to him at all, even though they were able to see him. And he gets caught out by the Earth Spirit Sun, and combo with the Sunstrike, and they get a quick kill for themselves. They're going to try to get more off of it. And if they do, this would be a pretty big victory for EG here, and Lena does get caught out. She goes down immediately, respawn, and Crit won't get taken out. The Crystal Maiden gets taken out as well. So that's a 3-for-1 trade so far. Considering Lena did die there now, that's a 4-for-1 trade, and did I jinx it? I said IG's gonna play a pretty clean game, but as soon as I said that, Nyx Assassins got caught out, then Lena and the rest of her team died trying to fight. So that's going to be 4 kills for EG. Of course, Burning was farming that entire time, and he's going to have his Radiance. Space for Burning's Radiance, I guess. But EG got a lot of gold out of that. If you look at the graph, that's about a 2,000 gold swing. We're going to see Arteezy get into his BKB. He's up to level 13 now, has a level 2 death pack. Now, Coddle is pretty close to his axe as well. Of course, once Burning gets his Radiance, it's going to be a pretty big time window for IG at this point. They can make a lot of moves with this Radiance. Get very far ahead if they get a good fight off. And we'll see what happens with this next smoke coming out from IG now. I don't think EG see this Radiance coming, but they should know that it is going to come at any point soon. Are they going to be prepared for it is the thing. I think they are. They got a lot of sentries, and they removed most of IG's vision from their side of the map except for this ward here. So in terms of having map vision, IG do not have eyes onto EG at all, and it's nighttime as well, so maybe they're not going to go for a smoke, but it looks like they're going to go for it anyway. They're just going to go with a blind smoke running into EG's side of the map, but EG look prepared. They're sitting in base right now, and very well played for them right now, knowing that this Spectre is going to have Radiance, and I think they see it now. Yeah, they definitely see it in this top lane. They're prepared, sitting in their base, not giving away this team fight for IG. Very well disciplined from EG, and we'll keep them alive for now, but will they misstep their boundaries, as IG are still looking for some kills? Because this could be a straight team fight win into Roshan. If they get an Aegis onto Burning, I'd say they have a very strong next couple of fights with that Aegis. because either they can farm the Spectre with Aegis or take another fight once the Haunt is off cooldown. Just an Aegis on Spectre is generally scary overall, but they're looking for a kill onto Burning now as they're recalling heroes into this bot lane. Crit's going to be sent down here. Arteezy's already stalking. He does have his BKB coming out soon, but it's not going to be up quite yet. Instead, the rest of IG is just going to take out this mid tower uncontested. EG does not want to fight at this point against the Spectre Radiance until probably this Klinks gets his BKB. As well as the Kato Axe coming out as well. They knew that this was a very bad time for them to fight, and they're going to play very passive, giving away a lot of the map to do so, but now Sumail peeking himself too far forward will get initiated on by the Nyx Assassin. Nice two-man stun coming out from the Earth Spear as well. I think it was actually only into one. Kato did manage to barely juke that one, but they lose two. No buyback onto Crit or Sumail, and
there's no accident anymore.
They're playing so safe for so long, but Sumail just let down his guard a bit there. I think that he could farm the safe lane, or mid lane safely. He was very close to the rest of his teammates as well as his tier 3, but he was wrong as XXS immediately came in there and got the kill onto him. So that's the first team fight with Spectre Radiance down. I would say it's not a devastating loss for EG, but it's definitely going to put them behind even further. We're going to see still around a 4,000 gold lead for IG, and that team fight loss at the bottom lane as well as losing the next top actually was a pretty big swing, but oh no. Now with Arteezy getting caught out here, XXS just fighting the kills. Very well played on this Nyx Assassin now. He's just a scourge for EG. He's really made Arteezy's game hell. Now OP up to level 17, about to have level 18 Laguna. That's super scary for EG. 850 damage new. That's pretty much more than half of all their heroes' HP. I mean, it is more than half of all their heroes' HP, except for Sumail. EG on the split pushing game right now. They're trying to just push in this bottom tier 2 while IG was taking their top tower. Monkey King's going to pounce down into the crypt and clear it out. That's not going to be the end of EG's push here as they're recalling Arteezy, and they might just get caught out here. OP showing up under a sentry, but they don't respond to him in time. Madeline's going to come out, but he's just going to man up. But Crit gets a nice silence as well as a stun. He denies himself, immediately respawn, and he's going to go straight back into the fight, but he actually doesn't have TP, so he can't TP in. But Boca will lose his life there as well. Arteezy popped his BKB. So Melina does go down there. It was a suicide, and they lose Baboka as well, but I don't even think they're going to get this tier 2. If they're going to back away and realize that they can't fight. The Spectre still has not used her ultimate, and Lina is going to be back in the fray. And that's what happens when you have negative 30 respawn timer with a Bloodstone. You just don't die. And it's so hard to win the game when you're behind at this point, because you can kill Lina all you want, but it's not going to do anything. As XXS and Burning find a solo kill, they find a kill here under Arteezy solo in the top lane, thinking it was safe, but Nyx Assassin was there, Spectre was there. That's Arteezy's 6th death in this game. Keep in mind, if EG don't tie this, they, I would say, let me see. Yeah, if they don't tie, or if they don't win this, I mean, they pretty much give the opportunity to get a top 2 finish into NP's hands, if that makes sense. They no longer are in control of their own fate. It's going to be up to whether NP lose their next game or not, and if NP tie even, they're out. So if they lose this game, they pretty much need to win the next one, or for sure they're out. But if they do lose this game and then say win the next one, even then they're not guaranteed into the top 2. It would have to require NP to lose both their games, and even then it would only tie them with NP if they went 1-1 in this series and NP lost both their games, so then would play a tiebreaker. Enough about that. We're going to see EG attempt Roshan here, but might be successful as they're actually cleaning shop. They know that Spectre Ultimate was down, and buybacks are going to start coming out from IG now. They don't want to give this Roshan away from EG. Now Sumail actually popping his BKB very late. Burning has burnt all his mana, and I think IG got overzealous. They're trying to defend this Roshan without this Spectre ultimate. So it's punished for it. XXS will end up die-backing here. Now Lena's TV'd back in, and she does not want to come. I think she ended up dying there as well, immediately respawning, of course.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
But did they stop Roshan? I don't think so. IG, huge throw from them there. And well played by EG, reading the situation perfectly. A new Spectre ultimate was down. They're pretty strong now with the BKB onto Sumail and RTZ. They claim that Aegis for themselves. Huge win there for EG, and they played this game very well so far. RTZ got cut out here and there a bit unnecessarily, but I mean, at the end of the day, it made space for that. If he didn't end up dying top, they wouldn't have had this opportunity. The Spectre ultimate wouldn't have been used, so sometimes you're going to give some to take some. Definitely worked out for them there. That was a dieback onto XXS, and that's going to slow his Agnes pretty significantly. Birdie ended up dying there as well. He's going to be level 18, going to have his Manta, but he could be a lot more farm at this point. And now Sumail rivaling Delina's farm, and she's actually died quite a... yeah, she's actually died quite a lot. He's only up to 5 Bloodstone charges now. He's going to just TP away as all of EG is going to run at her. XXS trying to farm towards Zagams now. He needs to get that dieback. Definitely hurt him. He definitely would have had his Agnes probably by now if he didn't die back like that. But I mean, Aegis onto Sumail. Not the biggest deal for IG at this point, but definitely throwing away the huge lead they had. I mean, I feel like in the late game they still have it. They just need to pick better fights, especially when they have all their ultimates up. The Universe does have his Radiance now, and actually Abaddon is scaling up to be a pretty strong hero. It's up to level 21, and with the cooldown reduction, once he gets to level 25, that plus 30 or 300 body shield health definitely is pretty scary. It's gonna make him and his team a lot tankier. Of course, Burning is still on the Spectre, a very formidable late game hero, but EG finding their spot back into this game off of, I would say, minor, but it looked to be just minor misplays from IG, but it ended up mattering so much because they baited their entire team into it. I mean, that hasn't happened once for EG this game. Is they've taken their losses, but they've never baited their entire team into dying, if that makes sense. The thing is, like, I mean, RTZ dies here and there, but it's always just like a one-man death, right? But the thing is, every time IG took a fight, they kind of just like went in one by one. When one person could have just died and then they could have backed, they were like, nah, we're ahead, let's try to fight them, and then they ended up going in one at a time and dying. Losing a full team fight to EG, and that matters so much more than just losing one hero, for example, because that pretty much means that EG can take over the map. They don't have to worry about anyone if everyone's dead. While if you look at what EG has done, sure, they lose RTZ, but the rest of the heroes are still putting pressure, they're still pushing lanes out. But when IG lose all their heroes like that, and it's happened twice this game, did they lose all their heroes twice? Well, close to all their heroes. It was at one time where Nyx died here and the rest of the team died bottom, of course, and then the most recent time at Roshan. It's happened twice, and it's really allowed EG to head back into this game, and we're actually going to see the net worth finally head in EG's way for the first time this game, since the early game, it looks like.
Radiant's mid tower.
Zai going to have his Ags now, and as I said before, EG's lineup definitely can scale into late game. They're not any joke. They have the Invoker and Clinks. It's just a straight out late game carry. Isn't that scary? But in terms of his ability to dish out raw damage as well as just melt buildings, he's definitely up there with other physical carries. XXS will have his Agnums now. If you look at OP, he has his BKB. That's gonna help him out. It's actually hurting him a lot having to deal with this Earth Spirit. Crit has done work in terms of shutting down OP in this game. Feels like every time he wants to get his spell combination off, he gets silenced.
Radiant
That BKB gonna prevent that now. EG farming up well, and they should be feeling good about themselves now in this game. They went from such bad position to something that's workable now. They're going to start to run down towers as they still have this Aegis onto Sumail. And with the daytime as well as Coddle Axe, I feel like IG are not going to contest this at this point. They're going to send OP to try to slow the push, but look how much damage both Invoker and Planks are able to do to their base. The thing is, like, IG has to be very worried in this game because if they just let EG stand next to their base for even a matter of moments, they're gonna melt the tier 3 as well as the racks. So I don't know how IG actually win this other than scaling on all their heroes, and they've already kind of lost that potential because the Lina has started to fall behind now, and Sumail is surpassing her in net worth by about 3,000. And here's what IG's gonna try for, is to get a gank here onto Sumail. With the Aegis expire, and they will be successful getting that ultimate, and they're gonna haunt over onto Zai as well. They have the dust for him, and his Glimmer's not gonna save him. He's moving pretty quickly, and can he get to safety in time? Birdie gonna run through. That's gonna be Gem on deck. Boca gonna fall pretty low. He's gonna turn himself to a tree and get away. While in the back line, they end up taking out Crit as well. And now Universe in a bit of trouble here. He's getting worked down. Crystal Maiden ultimate, and that's a 4-man wipe for IG. Very well timed smoke. They knew exactly when the Aegis would expire, and they caught Sumail off guard once again. And that's the second time he died, very close to his base, not expecting again coming in from IG. They moved quickly and they moved correctly. That was just a blind smoke. I would say, well, not blind, but it was, they just predicted his location. They didn't know that he would be there beforehand. They're going to take the tier 3 themselves. And Sumail's still saving his buyback, but because he's going to do that, he's going to lose his racks. Universe did have to use his buyback for this one, but the damage coming out from Lina, enough damage to take out the racks. Wow. And all of IG get away as well. Nyx Assassin got caught behind here. I think he got blinding light into the base, and so they'll lose their gem, I think. Did they lose their gem? No, they saved their gem, or the enemy gem. Alright, so they lose Nyx Assassin, they take the enemy racks, and they force the buyback on the Universe. Huge win there for IG. Very well played from them. At that point, the game was evened out, but after that move, they definitely brought the game back into their favor. But if you look at the net worth, it's actually not that, it's just zero. It's zeroed out, but the racks definitely pretty major advantage. Not entirely game winning, but definitely will matter. This is a game moves onward. We're going to see a Blade Mail build coming out from Burning now, as well as Diffusal coming out soon. Looking for Sumail once again. Spectre Ultimate coming out, and he's just underestimating the damage output coming out from EG. He went from full HP to nothing. He can't even react in time with his BKB, and that's just Lina with her Ags. Man, what a hero Lina is. If you can just, I feel like Lina in an even game is such a big threat always. I mean, of course, if she's behind, she kind of becomes like squishy and susceptible to dying. But if she can keep her levels up, keep the map control so that she can get some farm, she doesn't need that much of it either. She definitely can be up there and farm. She farms pretty quickly with the Bloodstone. Be able to put down waves and farm safely as well. It's going to be Sumail dead without buyback. IG are going to head straight mid to look for another tier 3 and potential racks here, but they're going to be a bit cautious. Not so sure if Sumail has buyback or not. Even if he doesn't, I think that Scotto can stall for long enough that he can just respawn and go defend. They don't want to put themselves in a bad position, so instead they're going to back off, go for the shrine kill. So let's reset for another fight. Ishii has done very well to bring this game back so far, but they need to wash themselves. They're still not out of it by far. You gotta play a lot more cautious once this Lina's off the map, because they know how much damage you can do, and at any point the Spectre can come in as well, of course, with the Haunt. I think even this Lina Monkey King alone can set up a gank and kill anybody immediately before they can respond. Like Monkey King comes out from the trees with a stun and comboed into Lina's stun. She moves around very quickly, of course, with the 3 points or three stacks onto Fiery Souls. Especially once you get level 25, it's going to be even crazier. I almost feel like Ichi have to try to do something before she gets to level 25, because I don't know how they deal with her at that point. She's going to be literally moving around at max move speed and hitting like a monster. We see Spectre Ultimate come out, trying to follow up XXS, but he misses his stun, unfortunately. And there's going to be a wasted Spectre Ultimate there, and this might be a very big deal here for IG as Roshan is up. You have to try to do it very quickly before EG can get here to respawn, but EG is already smoked up, and IG not feeling comfortable to go for this play at all. EG is smoked up now, looking for something with the Spectre Ultimate down for another 90 seconds. What's going to happen here? I feel like both teams know that Roshan is where the action is going to occur. Q gets cut out, but Ghost Scepter is going to save him. He's going to get stunned now by the Earth Speed. The Ghost Scepter will inspire Ortiz. He's just going to melt him.
Oh my god!
Saying bye-bye to the Crystal Maiden, but Sumail gets bursted down in the back line here with the Laguna Blade onto OP. And this is the power of Lina right now. What a strong hero. She just made that 2,400 HP and Boca looked like he was nothing. Now Burning is chewing through the Baton like butter. OP will go down here, but he literally responds in 20 seconds. Who cares now? Arteezy put himself in a bad position, killing the Lina. He has this in 2 seconds. Can he get away? He will not. That's another kill for Burning here in the back line. Nyx actually ended up getting killed out there by Arteezy in his dying breath. But that's going to be a 4-man wipe for IG, and they're going to head straight into Rosh. Their bottom racks is dying to creeps, and it's just a range racks at this point. Lina is alive again. She's going to TP straight to the mid lane, push out the wave, and help Burning clean up this Roshan. And with the Solar Crest onto Boca as well, it's going to be a pretty easy Roshan for IG. Grab it up on Burning. You saw how scary it was in that fight. Level 25 Spectre, is he going to go for the 400 health? Probably. I don't think the cooldown is going to help him too much. Puts it on a 6-second cooldown. Oh my. Just noticed that Crit had such a bad game. 2,300 net worth on this Earth Spirit. And that's because, I mean, he's been owning these fights, but he's had to buy all the support items because Zai's been playing relatively greedy so far. Just look at what items he has right now. He's taking up the 4 position mantle and Crit, taking a lot of the supporting role of his team. XXS scouting out now in Vendetta form. Sunstrike gonna come out to scout out Boboka and Q on the shrine. They're gonna try to work it down, but they are alone, so they're just gonna back themselves away as we see XXS looking to set up a gank, and they catch an eye onto Zai. They don't have reveal for him, but now XXS gonna blink in, trying to get a killer into Crit. He's gonna get sent up there by the tornado, and Lina will finish off the Kato in the backline. Arteezy goes down as well to Boboka. He's forced immediately to buy back here. And now their high ground is gonna be under threat. Spectre picks up a heart, and oh my, he's so strong right now. Heart on the Spectre with a blade mail and an Aegis. Level 25, she did go for the cooldown on the dagger. I mean, that allows her to chase a lot better. And I feel like, yeah, with the heart pickup, that's warranted because she doesn't really need the extra 400 health. She gets it from the heart. Boca. XSS finds initiation onto the universe, but he's a bad end, so they can't really kill him. And they're just gonna man up with the Spectre, starting to hit the tier 3. She's gonna pop her blade now, and they're not gonna be able to touch her at this point. Instead, they're gonna send her into the air with the tornado. Sun gonna come through from crit, will miss onto OP. All of Burning's mana is actually burned here, but I mean, he's already used his ultimate, doesn't care too much. He's not gonna get to use his 6-second cooldown Spectral Dagger, but it's whatever. They got a Vlad's onto Evoca, so that's extra armor for EG or IG, and so it's gonna make the Clinks a lot less scary. And keep in mind that RTZ doesn't have buyback now. Sumail doesn't have buyback either, so if they die, that's when the game's pretty much over. As we see the nuke coming onto Sumail. This is level 25 Lina. You saw how many damage he's able to dish out there. Now Burning just gonna man up. Still has Aegis, of course, and Arteezy falls, and that's before Burning even loses his Aegis, and will he even lose it? He's falling so low, and finally will die. The Lina ended up dying in the back there, but she's respawning in 30 seconds. The buyback did come out from crit. Now Burning is all alone, but oh my, XXS finds the kill with the Carapace onto the Kato. Carapacing his Kato Blast, and that's why Nick's so good against him. And now Burning going through, and Crit is the lone survivor. This is GG for IG. It's going to be called, and IG will take game 1 against EG. And what a game from IG. The way they played the early game, I mean, there was a couple missteps here and there for them where they kind of made themselves in some bad engagements, but I feel like it didn't even matter. They weren't even flinched by it. They gave away an Aegis to EG, but they just waited it out, and as soon as that Aegis expired into Subiao, he got picked off, and that led straight into a Rax for IG. And they utilized this Lina perfectly, as well as the Spectre onto Burning. Took the team fights they needed to take, and I think EG just didn't really have an answer at that point. They really relied on playing it tighter, and because they just, at any moment, they just got caught out once, and the game just got blown out of proportions. It was pretty standard for Sumail. They just came off from pushing top, and he just wanted to push out the bottom lane a bit there, but IG was already laying there in wait, and because he did not have buyback, they lost the Drax. They lost the rest of the team as well, because they felt they needed to fight. What a game from IG, and this is just showing the strength of Lina, and how she's able, if you can pick your targets right, just take out a critical hero for the enemy team almost immediately using the Laguna Blade. And we'll see what happens in game 2, but keep in mind this means that EG's fate is no longer in their hands. It's going to be up to NP, funnily enough, concerning the history between Arteezy and Eternal Envy, to either win or lose their game against Newbie. And if they tie against Newbie, that pretty much means EG is sent to the lower bracket. If they lose against Newbie, I think EG and NP will be forced to play a tiebreaker. And let me do a double check to see if a team will go. Yeah, it's going to be a 3-way tiebreaker, actually. Or not 3-way. Wait, no. If Newbie wins their game 2-0, that's going to give them 3 points. That means that both NP and EG are out. Yeah, so it's an important series of matches up ahead for a lot of these teams. And this determines whether they get a top finish or a bottom finish, because when you get sent to the lower bracket, you're one best of one away from placing bottom 12. I mean, it's just 12th place. 12th to, what is it, 12th? Losing that 12th, 8th place if you lose in that best of one. Well, if you're in the upper bracket, you get a lot more opportunity. I think, yeah, you actually end up, when you lose, you get sent to the bottom lower bracket round 3, actually. Like, how does this work, actually? I'm confused. I'm confusing myself here. Anyway, it's like the format in TI. You guys, without looking at the bracket, you probably won't make much sense of this either, but we'll take a short break and head right into the next game, IG versus EG game 2. But very well played there from IG. I was impressed, and it was just showing Lina's probably going to be a top tier pick now. What a hero, guys. Laguna Blade. And she had the Immortal as well, so she had the anime chest laser action going on, guys. But see you guys for game 2, and peace out.